Hello everyone, hello. Welcome to the virtual village hall for my next Silver Swans ballet class. It's a beautiful sunny day and we're going to do a little bit of dancing today from to the music from the Hungarian dance from Swan Lake. But of course, in our sessions, we have all of our usual bar work as well. Doesn't matter if you've never danced before, don't worry about it. My sessions are suitable for absolute beginners. I explain everything right from the start because I appreciate that I have different people joining in every time. So I'm explaining everything from the beginning, all the positions of the feet, arms. I mean, of course, that isn't what Silver Swans is just about. I teach a lot of Silver Swans classes and I teach Silver Swans classes for all levels of dancers, from absolute beginners like this session is going to be today to even people who are ex-professional ballet dancers. So Silver Swans is an initiative of the Royal Academy of Dance and their ballet class is specially designed for the over 55s. And it is amazing for helping to improve your posture, your mobility, your coordination, and your energy levels as well, and balance as well. I think that's a really huge one, is actually how much it helps balance. Not only does it develop your balance, but it also helps build an awareness of it as well. But like I said, today we're going to do an introduction to ballet, and then we'll finish off with a little bit of repertoire. So before we get started, if you can please check that your space is clear of any obstacles, just check that, the dog's out of the way, my dog's out of the way, and also I do apologise, by the way, if I end up having a knock on the front door. I've got a delivery scheduled. I've put a sign on the front door saying please don't knock. I'm doing a live stream, but you never know. So I do apologise if that happens in this session. But check clear, nice clear space. Check your flooring is suitable. Be careful that the footwear that you're wearing, it's not making your foot slippy. And you will need something to use as a ballet bar. So something nice and sturdy that won't wobble over. A chair is absolutely ideal. About waist height is perfect. We'll get started with our 2 warm-ups. If you've joined in my session before, then you'll know these warm-ups. If not, then nice and easy to follow along. Please feel free to pop in the comments. It's lovely to hear whereabouts everybody's joining in from today. Have you done ballet before? Is this your first ballet class? Always love hearing that. So please feel free to write anything in the comments, about your previous dance experience and whereabouts you're joining in from. I'm in Manchester, just in case you were wondering. Right. Okay. Let's get started. So we're going to begin with our warm-up. So we're going to just start off by walking around in our space. So feet together, hands by your side. If you haven't got enough space to walk around, then you can just walk on the spot. Let's begin. Off we go, walking round. Now taking your hands slowly up and bring them down and up and down and up and down. Let's come into the middle, feet together, and we're going to have our hands in front. And we're just going to bend and stretch. Nice big bend and stretches. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Bend and stretch, taking both hands behind you. And into the middle, both hands behind you. And into the middle. Now let's sway to the side. Nice big bend and stretch. And bend and stretch. It doesn't matter which way you're going, just keep swaying to the side. Keeping your arms moving. One more sway, feet together. We're going to breathe in. And breathing out. Okay, good. So we're now going to go over to our ballet bars. So if you want to quickly grab your chair or whatever you're going to be using as your ballet bar for today, like I said, just make sure it's something nice and sturdy that doesn't wobble over. I forgot to say, obviously today is a much warmer day, so please make sure you've got some water as well. I will schedule in a few little water breaks in there today, but just please take water whenever you feel as though you need to. Let's face our ballet bar. So like I said, today I'm explaining everything from the start. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is posture. because posture is so important in ballet. We're thinking all of the time of lifting up, but at the same time, we're also remaining very grounded because we can't stay too floaty, because obviously we need to have a certain element of groundedness to help us to be able to do the steps. So there's a few little bits of imagery that I use to help people find that. So my favorite one is thinking of your head as being like a helium balloon that's trying to float upwards, but your feet are the weight, so it's remaining very grounded. So as well, you can think about making the gap between your ribs and your hips just a little bit bigger. But what we mustn't do, though, is let the tension go into our shoulders, and remember to keep breathing. As soon as I say to people about posture, it's not like, we've still got to be able to breathe. It's nice, wide open shoulders, relaxed, long neck. It's from the middle of your head. If you just touch the middle of your head there, imagine there's a string going upwards to the ceiling. And shoulders relaxed. And now we can get hold of our ballet bar. Okay, now we know how we set our distance away from our ballet bar. We can tell that from our elbows. So if you're too far away, your elbows are straight. If you're too close, your elbows are bent. We want them to just have a nice soft curve, basically. That is important because, again, that's going to impact our balance if we're not set up correctly. So that's us basically set up at the bar now. So we'll get started now with our second warm-up, where we're just going through the different parts of the feet. So we're going to go to our demi-point, we call this. So your toe is still on the floor, you're just your heel that's lifted. Then we go to the toes, demi-point, and down. So we're not leaning on those toes when we go all the way to the tip, we're just resting it on the floor, demi-point, and down. We're just getting the different parts of our feet moving, getting the mobility going in them. And demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Then we're going to point our foot in front. We're going to flex our foot. And now, as you point your foot, I want you to try and ripple it through. Imagine your foot's pushing against a pedal. Ripple to a point and close. Pointing as you flex your foot, push your heel away from you. Ripple through to a point and close. Same again. Pointing and flexing and pointing and closing and pointing and flexing and pointing and closing. And that is our warm-up. We're just getting the different parts of our feet moving. Let's have a go with music now. So feet together, just take a moment, check your posture's correct. Just check your elbows, make sure you're not too far away or too close, and we will get started. And crease, shoot to a point, demi-point and down, demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down, demi-point, to a point, demi-point, and down. Now pointing and flexing, and tongue and flex, tongue and close, tongue and flex, ripple through and close, tongue and flex, and pointing and closing, pointing front and flex your foot and point and close. Good. So we've just got the different parts of our feet starting to move there. Let's do our pliés now. So plié is the first exercise that we always take at the bar. It's a lovely slow exercise, and it's basically just bending and stretching. That is all that plié means. Plié means to bend. But first, I'll just go through the positions of the feet. So if you just stand with your feet together. So we have our weight distributed nice and evenly. We're not kind of leaning on one leg more than the other. Now from here, we're going to turn our toes away from each other. Heels stay in contact, toes have turned away. Again, it should feel nice and comfy. We're not forcing our turn out, just nice and comfortable. About a right angle is normally correct. So that's your feet in first position. Now, just putting a little space between your feet. Again, take a moment, just check that they're turned out exactly the same. Be careful you haven't got one leg more turned out than the other. Weight is in the center, both feet are turned out exactly the same. I said, just be careful you're not leaning on one leg more than the other. So we have feet in first and we have feet in second position. Going back to feet in first position again. If you now cross one foot in front, so the heel of your front foot is in contact with the middle of your back foot. And we can take that with either foot in front. And that will become important later on in the class in our Hungarian Sárdász. Okay. So we've got feet in first. Now we point our foot to go to second position, and then pointing your foot to close into third position. That's going to form the basic structure of our exercise we're going to do now. So feet in first position, facing your ballet bar. We're going to take some demi-pliés. So demi-plié is just a bending and stretching of your knees. So I'll just turn to face the camera so you can see. I'm in that first position. Knees are bending and stretching, and you can see there my heels are staying on the floor and back is staying really straight, so I'm not leaning forwards. Okay, so let's go. Demi-plié and stretch, demi-plié and stretch. You're still thinking about that helium balloon. Pointing your foot to the side, and we'll lower down in second position. Just take a moment, check your feet are matching. Same in second, demi-plié 1 and stretch, demi-plié 2 and stretch, tendu, closing in to third position. Same in third, demi-plié 1 and stretch, demi-plié 2 and stretch, and then we're going to close your feet back into first position, whereabouts we started, and we're going to take 2 little rises. So heels lift and lower, heels lift and lower. So again, we're going to that creased position in the shoes. We're not going all the way up to the tip. So we're going to a creased position because we only have soft shoes on. And we want our ankles to stay in a nice straight line. So be careful you're not going onto your little toe there. Okay, so a little rise, 2 rises. And at the very end, we're going to lift both arms up to make a nice oval shape, which we call fifth position. But we'll talk more about arm names later on in the session. All you need to know today is we're raising our arms up and shoulders down to finish off. Let's take our pliés. So feet in first position. I'll talk you through as we're going along. And plié 1 and stretch, plié 2 and stretch, pointing your foot to the side and lowering down in second position. Same in second, demi-plié 1 and stretch, plié 2 and stretch. Let's go into third position. Still lifting up tall, shoulders down, and 1, 2. Let's close back into first position. Now we have those 2 little rises. So lifting up tall, shoulders down, heel lifts, and down. Legs stay nice and strong, and down. Now both hands are going to go up, shoulders down. Nice long neck. And we'll finish. Good. Okay, so that's our plié exercise. Really always a lovely start to the class whenever we do pliés. Always just nice, calm beginning. We're going to do our battement tendus now. So I have kept using the word tendu actually, whenever we're pointing our foot, and that is basically what a tendu is. It's just pointing and closing. So feet in first position. Now we're going to have one hand on our ballet bar. Makes it a bit easier for following along with the video as well. So if you're using a chair like I am, if you get hold of your chair in the middle and then just take a little step backwards. So your hand is now in front of you. That's really important because it helps keep your shoulders nice and square rather than shoulders being twisted and creating lots of tension. Okay, so just moving back, and we're going to put the spare hand onto your hip. Now, when we have one hand on the bar, we've got our leg furthest away from the bar. That's your outside leg. And this is the one that's going to do all of the work now. So we're going to point our foot in front. And don't forget as well, I teach as a mirror image, so you can just follow along as a mirror image as well. And closing into first. Then we're going to go to the side. And closing into first. We can also go to the back. And closing into first. So those are the 3 different directions. Now you'll notice there that my legs stay straight. And what it is, it's your foot that slides until it points. I'm not leaning on that foot. It's just until it fully points and then melts back in again. Okay, so this is starting to develop the mobility and the strength in your feet as well. So let's put that into the setting of an exercise now. So we're going to go to the front. And closing in, and we'll go to the side and closing in. Now we're going to take a sideways port de bras. Port de bras, movement of the arms. Your arm is going to go down to the side and up to that fifth position that we learned just a moment ago. Now, turning your head away from your arm, we're going to go into a little bend over to the side, coming back up again, opening that arm out and putting it back onto your hip. Now, the tricky thing about sideways port de bras is keeping your hips still. So just be careful your hips don't swing away. It looks very modern dance, doesn't it? So hips have to stay still because this is classical ballet. So hips stay still. The bend comes from your waist instead. And then we're going to reverse. So we're going to go to the back and closing in to the side and closing in. And we'll take another one. Arm goes up and over you go. And we're recovering back up again to finish back up. Okay, and that is our Battement tendu exercise with a little bit of a sideways port de bras in there. So feet in first position. Let's take our tendus. And going to the front. And closing into the side. And closing in. Let's take a sideways port de bras. Over we go. Let's go to the back area. And closing in. Now when we go to the side, we call it our à la seconde. Okay, over you go again. So hips stay nice and still. The bend comes from your waist, shoulders down. Nice low necks. Good. Okay, so we've used one leg. We now need to use the other leg. So using a chair, you can just swap over to the other side. If you're on a fixed unit, then you can always move your laptop or your iPad. So you keep following along rather than trying to follow along and watch over your shoulder. Okay, so feet in first position. Standing lovely and tall, hand on your hip. Now your other leg is furthest away from the bar. And that's now our outside leg. So that's the one that's going to be doing all the pointing and closing. Again, I'm teaching as a mirror image, so it's nice and easy to follow along. And going to the front. And closing in now to second. And closing in over towards your bar. Turning your head. And we'll go to the back area. And closing into that foot, sliding until it points. And closing in. Over you go. And recovering back. Okay, good. Have a quick drink if you want one. Just before we continue on any further through our bar work. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Okay. Our next exercise is called a Battement frappe. Frappe means, you're probably thinking of a drink right now. You'd be right too. Spelled exactly the same. Means to strike. That's a bit of an in-joke in dancers that, that we have frappes. I used to drive past a big McDonald's that used to say frappes on it. And everybody else obviously was as a drink, but as a dancer, just, it always made me smile. That means something very different to a dancer. That's just dancer's humour for you, I'm afraid. So, feet in third position. We're going to take our Battement frappes. Like I said, frappe means to strike. It's a nice and easy step. So, your foot is going to begin on your ankle bone. I'll just turn to face the camera. So, your heel is up on your ankle bone here. Now, I always think of this as being like a dart going into a dartboard. It's all about speed and precision. Ballet isn't just about soft, slow movements. Dancers can move very, very fast as well. So we're taking our foot to a point at the side, and then we're going to bring it in to our ankle bone again. So this is the hard thing. It goes from a flexed foot to a pointed foot. Flex to a point. Just have a go at that. Flex to a point. Flex to a point. Have a go with the other leg as well. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Now, every time I was bringing my foot to the front of my ankle there, I want you to try swapping it between it going to the front of your ankle and the back of your ankle every time. So front, back, front, back. Okay, so this is what we call a battement frappe to a dégagé. So it's going straight to a point. There is a slightly different version for a full battement frappe, but this is the one we're going to learn today because this is basically where we start training our battement frappes from. Like I said, today's session is suitable for absolute beginners, so I'm explaining everything from the very, very start. So feet in third position, standing nice and tall. On the introduction, we're going to lift our foot up and we're going to point our foot to the side and in. Point it to the side and in. Point it to the side and in. So we've kept swapping it, lower it down at the back, and then you can lift up your other foot at the front, and then we're ready to go on the other side. Point and in and point and in and point and in, lower it down, and that's where the exercise will finish. Okay, so it's a nice short exercise, just learning the basics of our battement frappes. Let's go with music. And lifting up your foot and point and in, straight to a point. Like I say, it's like a dart going onto a dartboard. Point and in, lowering it down. Let's lift up the other leg. In, point and in. One more. And lowering it down. Okay, good. Right, final exercise at the bar now. We have our grand battements. So for this, we're going to go back to having one hand on the bar. We're going to take 3 grand battements in each direction. Well, going to the front with each leg, sorry, I meant to say. So, hand on your hip. It's basically an extension of your battement tendu. So we're going to point it in front. We're going to lift it and point it and close it. If you've done my virtual village hall sessions before, you'll know this exercise. That's how we go with the other leg. Pointing and lifting and pointing and closing. We're going to connect together the first 2 movements there. So it now goes swish, point, close. So we're going swish and point and close. Swish and point and close. Have a go with the other leg. Swish and point and close. Swish and point and close. And that's basically going to be the structure of the exercise. So we're going to take though 3 with our outside leg, 1 and the point and the close and away, 2 da, 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 3 da, 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 da. We'll take that little rise and down. Rises are really good because it just brings our weight back into the middle again. If you're leaning off to one side, you can't do a rise. You have to bring your weight into the middle, so it's like hitting the reset button. Let's have a go with the other leg. Swish and a point and a close. Swish and a point and a close. 1 more. Swish and point and close. Rising and lowering down. Even on that rise, if you want to take it just as a very small lift of your heel, that's absolutely fine. It's a very strengthening position now. Let's take our grand battements now. So feet in first position. And swish and a point and close. Second one. Third. And we'll take our rise. Lowering down other leg and do 1. Second one. Third grand battement. Rising up and down. Okay, good. So that finishes off our bar work. If you want to put your bars away, we're going to come into the center now. And have a quick drink as well. Okay. Don't forget to write in the comments as well if you're joining me today. Even if you're watching on catch up, it's I'll come back in the next few days and see if you have any questions. Please feel free to put them into the comments as well. I always go through afterwards and answer any questions anybody might have. It's great to hear whereabouts you're joining in from. Have you recently discovered the Virtual Village Hall as well? I've been teaching in the Virtual Village Hall since the very start. So, I mean, that was about April 2020 would have been, May 2020, something like that. So I regularly do a session about once a month. Anyway, so in the centre, we're going to do a Batman tendu exercise. So we've just taken tendus at the bar. We're going to do them in the middle now. A little bit trickier for your balance, because I am going to put a little bit of a balance in there as well. But like I said, the thing is with balance is that it's something that can be improved. Don't think that your balance is kind of fixed as it is. Balance is definitely something that can be improved. And ballet is amazing at working on balance. It's amazing at exposing your balance, but also at then improving it as well. So I think that's something that always takes Silver Swans by surprise, is how much their balance, they do find that their balance improves when they're taking Silver Swans classes. So we'll have our feet in third position. So your right foot is going to be in front. Just popping your hands onto your hips for the moment, and then I'll just explain about the feet first of all. So we're going to go point and close. Let me just move back a bit more. Let's start again. And point and close. Point and close. A third one. But on this third one, we're going to lift our leg up, tendu and close. From here, we're going to take what's called a transfer of weight. So I'm pointing my foot to the side, lowering down in second, pointing, and then I'm going to close my foot in front. And then we just repeat again with the other leg. Point and close. Point and close. Point and balance. Point and close. Tendu and lower. And point and close in front. And then that's when we finish off the exercise. Now, we can keep our hands on our hips if you want to. You can always hold on to your ballet bar if you would rather just be near something a little bit steadier. But I think that one of the best exercises, one of the best arm positions, is with your arms in second. Now, we haven't really talked much about the arm positions. We have discussed that is fifth position. We have bra bar, which is an oval shape with your hands. We have first position, which is still that oval shape. There's fifth position, so you can see those three are the same shape. They're just at different heights. So that's bra bar, first position, and fifth position. Missed out a few of the numbers there, but those are exactly the same. We also have second position. So if you just take your arms into first, so remember first is opposite your waist. So you've got your arms around a big beach ball, elbows to the side. And I want you to open your hands up like some gates that are opening. So they're opening out, and they finish just a little bit in front of you. There. So you can see I've not let them go behind me, because you can see how that's affecting my posture straight away. They're not even straight out to the side. They're a little bit in front, and it's curved in front. There. Okay. A little bit lower than your shoulders, just slightly lower. And that's your second position. And we're going to use second position when we're doing this exercise, because having your arms at the side can be really good for helping keep your balance. Think like a tightrope walker. You know, they'd have their arms out at the side. They might be holding a stick in front of them. They don't hold the stick behind them. They hold it in front of them to help them keep their balance. And that's you keeping your arms in front of you. So, feet in third, arms first and out to second, and a point, and close, and a two, and close. The third one goes to a lift, and point, and close, tendu, and lower, point and close in front. Then we're just going to take our hands through bras bar, all the way up, and opening out. We call that a full port de bras. One, and a close, and two, and a close, and a three, balance, and lower, transfer of weight, and tendu, closing in, port de bras, and finishing off. Okay, One more little tip for your balance is whereabouts you're looking. Now, it's not too bad if you have your laptop in front of you. You want it to be if you're following something that's about eye level, you'll find it nice and easy. If you're following this on a little phone, it's really difficult to keep your balance if you're looking down. So what you need to do is just choose something directly in front of you, about eye level, that you're going to keep looking at. And then everything what I talked about at the start of the session about posture, lifting up tall from the middle of your head, shoulders down, all of that is going to help now with that balance, with that lift and point and close. Be ready for it. You know it's coming. Okay, don't let it take you by surprise. So let's have a go. Feet in third, and let's take our battement tendus with that little balance in there with music. Arms prepare, and tendu and close, tendu and close. Now balance, transfer of weight, and close, release your arm, and one. So keeping those arms nice and wide, but still slightly in front of you. Transfer of weight, pull the ground, and finishing. Okay, good. So we're going to now go on to our Hungarian Csárdas, which is from Swan Lake. So a lot of the major ballets have in a national dance element. They're really, really nice. I love doing national dances. It provides really nice variety to our ballet classes. Just to give you an example, so the Hungarian outfit, you'd have on boots, a long 3/4 skirt, a full skirt, because any turning steps, it will have a nice little swirl to it. Very pretty, beautiful embroidery, beautiful sleeves. It's a really, really nice costume. Now, I'm just going to play you the piece of music. Can we have the music, please, for this? It's a very slow, grand dance. Has a very regal air to it. So that's what we're going to dance to. I'm just going to teach you some basic arm positions first of all. So the first thing we do is we're going to have our hands on our hips. Now these are fists, so fingers in, and then thumbs are on top. So we've not got our thumbs inside the knuckles. Fingers, thumbs on top, and then they're on your hips. From here, you take one hand out, so palm is up, and then we can bring it across in front and open. You can see my hand is changing there. I'll come up closer to the screen. Across and open, so you can see the palm of my hand is changing there. It's really like the back of my hand that's leading, like this part here, there, and across. Okay. And then a position of the arms that's really common in the Hungarian dance style is if you have one hand on your hip and the other hand will take it through first, out to second, just like we learned in the ballet class. Then it's going to bend in from your elbow, your hand flattens, and it goes to the base of your head there, to the nape of your neck. Okay. Now you want to make sure that the wrist stays really nice and straight. Be careful it doesn't bend round. And we can have this really grand movement, and it goes round and up. We have that a few times. We can also have this, where your arm is, well, we described this as an open fifth if we did it with both hands. If you've done my sessions before, you may know your open fifths. Fifth position, open fifth, the palm of your hand is up, but we just have it with one hand instead. We also have another common arm position. I'm just trying to get all these arm positions in here so as I teach it to you, you're aware of whereabouts they are, is this. So your hand is on top of your elbow, your other hand is underneath your elbow. They are stacked one on top of another. Just to mention, this is not a hornpipe arm position. People often get confused, thinking, oh, it's a hornpipe. A hornpipe will be hands placed underneath, because the sailors would have oil on their hands from all the rigging. So they don't want to get their nice white suits dirty. So the hands go underneath in a traditional hornpipe. This is Hungarian. That's a hornpipe. We're dancing a Hungarian czardas, so hands go one on top of the other. And we can have little leans here. Right, let's put some footwork with all of that now. So we're going to start off in what we describe in our stage directions as our upstage left. Really easy to learn. It's exactly the same stage directions as actors have. Right side, left side. Like I said, I teach the mirror image. So just follow the same side as I am. So you're going to go over to the left, over to your left. Now, just move back a little bit away from your laptop, and you're now in your upstage left corner. So, facing the front, your hands are on your hips. Taking your right hand out, we're going to bring it across and open. Now we're going to take some walks using your right foot first. We're going to basically make like a zigzag pattern. 1, 2, 3, closing your feet in. So that's 3 walks I've taken. I've gone across and open and a walk and a walk and walk, closing in. Ooh, I've gone behind the Royal Volunteer Service logo there. And your hands from here, we're going to basically, it's almost like a clapping sound. Instead of clapping your hands that way, they're going to go brush there. So one hand comes down, the other hand comes up. So we're going to go brush and into this arm position. So let's have a go from the beginning. So I'm going across and open and a walk and a walk and walk, closing in and brush and hand. Then we'll use the other hand, left hand across and open. Let's go to the left. 1, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. 3 and closing in and brush and out. Don't worry too much about, am I using the right leg? Am I using the right arm? I just want you to enjoy dancing it. It's nice and straightforward. It doesn't matter whichever arm or leg you use because it doesn't really affect the rest of the choreography. So just concentrate on that you're doing some walks, you're brushing your hands, you're taking them up, then we walk in the other direction, making a zigzag pattern. Okay, so let's go. Feet in 3rd position or 1st position, hands on your hips. And across, open, walking 1, 2, 3, closing in, brush, and across, and open, walking 1, 2, 3, closing in, brush, and out. Okay, so from here, whichever foot you've got in front or whether you close into first, it doesn't really matter. We're going to sway to the side. If you've already danced before, you may remember a step called a balance. You can take a balance at this moment. We're going to use these arms. Your right hand is going out. We're going to sway to the right, sway to the left. If you know how to do a balance at this moment, you can actually fit in a balance. But I'm just going to do a sway today, like I said, because this is a beginner's class. So 1 and 2. Stepping to the side, close your foot in front and lifting your arm up to that open fifth. Then we go the other way. Sway. You notice I swapped my arms there. Sway, step, and close. So it's 2 sways and then a step and close. And as we take that step and close, that's when we have the arm going up. So I'm going to the right, to the left, and step, close, arm lifts. Swap your hands. Sway, and sway, and hand lifts up. From here, we're going to go to this arm position. And we're going to take a step called a retire passe. Retire meaning to draw up. Passe, it keeps swapping. It's passing. Okay, so you know how at the beginning of the session I said we can have feet in third with either foot in front? That applies now. So you're going to lift up your front foot and take it to the back. Lift up your front foot and take it to the back. I always think it's a bit like a flag going up a flagpole. It draws up a triangular shaped flag and goes down, lifting up and down, up and down, up and down. It does happen quite fast, so don't worry too much about standing on one leg for too long. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, we're just going to open our hands out to our audience, and we're going to walk round back to exactly whereabouts we started. So however much space you've got left, we just want to get round to the corner, exactly the corner whereabouts we started. Could pick it up from... Oh, it's a bit tricky to find it. Let's go from the very beginning. It's a bit tricky to find the counts in this. Just randomly in the middle. Let's go from the beginning. And across. And open. Walking. 1, 2, 3. And brush. Second side across. And open. Walking. 1, 2, 3. And brush. Going to the right. Sway. Sway. Step and close. Position. Sway. And sway. Step and close. Hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll walk around to the beginning. And then we actually start again from the beginning. The music repeats, we repeat. Across and open and walk and walk and walk, closing in and brush and out. Now it changes. We're going to take a step called a ball change. If you've done tap dancing before, you'll know what a ball change is. One foot is flat, the other foot is on the demi point. So we're going to go back, front, back, front. So as we step onto the back foot, we're lifting up taller. And then as we go onto the front foot, our front knee bends. Ball change. Ball and then a change of weight. That's why it's called a ball change. Back, front, back, front. I always think it's a little bit like you've got a sore big toe. And it's like, I'm going to stand on my foot. It's like, oh, now, nope, that hurts. Okay. And 1. So you're not fully transferring the weight. It's and 1 and 2. And as we do that, your arm is going to go round slowly through second and up to that open fifth position. 1 da 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 dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum. Now, you can keep it facing the front if you want to, or you can actually turn that going to the right. 1 da 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 2 da 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 3 da da dum bum 4. And then we've just got to put the ending in. So you can bring your back foot in front. We're going to bring our hand in front, demi-plie, and finish. Okay, so just the leg that's been at the back, bring it in front, little swoosh, plie, and ending position. So from the final section where we've just walked round to the corner, and it's a repeat. So we go across, and open, and a walk, and a walk, and walk, and close, and brush, and out. From here, we're going to turn 1 da 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 2 da da dum da da 3 da da dum bum 4. Bring that foot in front, swoosh across, demi-plie, and position. Let's have a go from the very, and then it goes into the fast bit, technically in swan lake, but we're just focusing on the slow Stardust today. So let's go from the very beginning. And across. And open. Walking. 1, 2, 3, closing it, brush, and 1, swap your hands, new direction, 1, 2, imagine that hand's leading you, and brush, and sway to the side, open fifth, position, sway, and sway, retire in 1, 2, 3, 4, going round, from the very beginning, and across, 1, 2, 3, and close, brush, and we're going to turn, the ball changes, 3, 4, close that foot in front, okay, good. Let's finish off with our cool down now. So, feet together, midway through the cool down, I'm going to put a little curtsy in there. Curtsies and bows, so you can take a normal curtsy. Remember that your foot is on the demi point. If you don't like that, you can just take your feet in third and just take it as a bend and stretch. Any gentlemen joining in today, you can always take it as a bow in the middle as well. But, like I said, that will come in the middle of the cool down. So just feet together, focusing along with your breathing and just following along exactly as you did in the warm-up. And breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, feet in first, curtsies or bows, curtsies or bows, and we're just going to walk around just like we did at the start, so focusing on your breathing, breathing out, slowing down your breathing, breathing in, and breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Well done, everybody. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, everyone, today. If you're joining us on catch up later on, I hope you've enjoyed the class. Like I said, still you can put any comments in the questions and any comments in the questions, any questions in the comments. That's what I'm trying to say. Enjoy the sunshine, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.